Tell me your ghost story.
Okay, so this one was when I was 13. I apologize. And it was me and a group of my friends were hanging out in Kentucky, and it's kind of this middle of nowhere town that I used to live in. It was Guthrie, and there was a lot of Civil War history in the area. So it was about midnight, and we decided we were going to walk down to this graveyard and hang out. It was the middle of fall. And so to get to this graveyard, you had to walk down these railroad tracks about a mile and a half. And then you would get to the gate of the graveyard, there would be some graves, and then you'd have to walk into the woods, and there would be other graves kind of scattered around, like Civil War era graves. And I went off by myself while my friends were hanging out at the gate and sat down under a tree, and I remember kind of meditating a little bit and trying to see if I felt anything and just kind of...
Did you feel anything, or were you looking to feel anything specific?
At that point I was looking to feel something. I was just kind of like searching out the energy to see if anything would happen. So I was kind of like putting that intention out there, and I saw a figure at the edge of the trees where the forest got thicker standing there, and it was a completely...
What color was it?
It was completely black, and it was this kind of...
It kind of stood out from the shadows?
Exactly. It was this like really dark black figure that just stood out against the rest of the darkness of like the night. And so I saw this thing, and I immediately got up and I walked to my friends and I was like, hey, this is what just happened. Do you want to try and do a seance? And I had one friend, Anna.
This was after that you saw something, and then you made a decision that since you saw something, you should have a seance here.
Exactly, yeah. I wanted to feel it out. I wanted to know what would happen. So, one of my friends was very adamantly against it. The rest of the group that I was with, which was a group of guys, my friend Jason, Logan, and Josh, were all about it. So, me, Logan, Jason, and Josh go to the spot that I was just sitting at, and we form a circle and hold hands. And I just kind of say this really vague opening thing. I'm like, hey, if there's anything here, can you give us a sign? Can you give us some like confirmation of your presence? And it felt like the atmosphere just got super heavy. Like you could feel it weighing on your shoulders. And everybody in the group experienced something different. I saw this figure again. And as I'm staring at it, I'm seated where I can see it directly in front of me.
Yeah.
And it just starts moving space. Like it doesn't float or run or
It
walk.
just kind of like time warps or time
Exactly.
shifts.
Like suddenly it's 30 feet closer. And maybe
Right.
another 30 feet closer. And all of us...
I've experienced that too. Just like a blink of an eye, moving 30, 40 feet at a time.
So I'm seeing this happening. All of us are seeing these figures that were also kind of like the same darkness that stood out, and I can only describe it as a kind of like stick figures that would run and leave like a tracer behind them, like shadow figures.
Yes.
And they're just like circling the base of where the trees are. My friend Josh was seated.
Were they circling your group?
I mean, it
Or
just
just
kind
of like outside of...
It wasn't right up against us. It was like right along the perimeter of like where the trees were. Like it looked like it was circling us, but it was kind of just circling like the entire perimeter of the cemetery.
Okay.
And
Did you feel like you were within the confines of the circle?
I did. Yeah, I mean, but I just...
Did you feel any energy change as they circled?
I don't remember feeling any specific shifts and like feeling. I just remember kind of being this mounting experience of different things that got more and more intense. And at this point, like we were all very young and very inexperienced, so we were kind of just immersed in what was happening and watching what was happening. And my friend Josh was seated with his back to everything, and he said that he felt like nails running down his back, like not hurting him or scratching him, but just like fingers like running down his back. My friend Logan was seated on the other side of me, and he said that he heard like muffled whispering. And after a while, just very quickly into all of this happening, we got really freaked out and we decided to quit. And so we quit and we broke down the circle, and we didn't leave quite yet. We walked back to the gate and we were smoking cigarettes and talking about what just happened, and we're kind of jittery. And the way the cemetery was set up is that you have the gate right next to the railroad tracks, kind of like this grassy field leading up into this hill where the graves and everything were. And we saw this figure, the same figure that I saw standing right at the perimeter where like the trees would lead up to the gate. And we all saw it at once, and we all just ran as fast as we could down the railroad tracks and left.
Did you ever feel anything if you went back to that site at all?
We went back a couple of times after that and did a couple more seances, and things got worse every time we went back.
And where was this?
This was in Guthrie, Kentucky.
On the railroad tracks, like a Civil War cemetery.
Yeah. Yeah, it was up these railroad tracks that divided Guthrie from the north side and the south side, and just at about a half mile up the tracks from the town you would find the cemetery.
Do you think to this day it is still haunted?
I haven't been back since these series of nights that we did these seances, but I definitely feel like there's something that's attached to that place that does not want to let it go, and that really just needs somebody to notice it, or is feeding off of whoever comes into there.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you for your story. Cheers.